You look safe.
I look safe. Check it out. Right after I masturbate, some of this and some of this. You gotta keep your hands clean, people.
Why do you gotta put Clorox on yourself after you masturbate? That's weird.
Oh, I just do that in there. But either way, you should be, every time you do anything, you should be cleaning your hands. You should also be, you know what I make my girlfriend do when she gets home? I make her take her shoes off outside, and then I pour alcohol all over them.
I don't know. Is that over, being overcautious?
I think listen, when Disney shut down, we all needed to start being overcautious. Like, that's never happened. Everything that's happening now.
During Hurricane Andrew, right?
Yeah, everything. Hold on, I'm gonna hit record real quick because I almost didn't record this, and that would have sucked. Everything.
You cannot afford not to record.
Everything that's going down now has never happened before. So yes, you should take extreme measures to protect yourself, I think. And it's like, it's not going to hurt you to do that, right? It might be annoying.
It's a little annoying, and maybe overkill. Some of it might be unnecessary, but I think better safe than sorry. If it's not really taking away too much of your time and too much of your energy or too much of your money.
I think, well, yeah. I mean, the financial thing is always important, but if you don't take preventive measures, you're acting like Trump.
How is that?
Well, I mean, I would say a lot of people are blaming him for not taking this more serious, faster. It feels like at the beginning it was like, oh, it's going to blow past, blah, 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 blah. Even though I will give him credit, he did want to cancel all the flights from China early, but they were calling him a racist. So they were like, it's like, you can't win. You know what I mean? Because this has never happened before. We automatically, a lot of us don't like the guy. I mean,
I'm looking at a closet right now, or I'm looking at a door.
I'm looking at a door. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me flip it over.
Yo.
Okay, there we go. Oh, it keeps flipping back. It's technical difficulties. All right, there we go.
Go back.
I'm opening doors for you guys. So, yeah, I mean, if we're not taking preventive measures and you get, it's like you're definitely, you can't win and you can't lose, but you got to try. And I think that's the type of spirit we should start giving our leaders, especially the medical professionals. Like, yeah, we don't like Trump. So we definitely have failed when it comes to not supplying our medical facilities with enough stuff. So you can't blame the doctors, but you do got to blame the administration of these hospitals and these places, But again, this has never happened before.
That's what I was about to say. That it's something that's unprecedented, and there's really no kind of playbook in the modern world on how to act during these times or whatever. And plus, you got to think, being president, you're not just dealing with, one place. You're dealing with a lot of places. You're dealing with tons of places as compared to like a governor who has to just sort of concentrate on his state, or a mayor who just sort of has to concentrate on his city, Yeah. So I'm not trying to necessarily defend Trump, but I would say, shit, it's impossible. It's impossible for anyone, any president, dictator, goddamn parent, anybody. It's impossible for them to really get this right on the first swing. So as long as everybody's kind of working toward the goal of keeping everybody safe and alive and with the power on, if they have power, and just generally trying to do the right thing, then I think we're in a good place. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen, which is why we're in a fucked up place.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't blame our medical professionals. They're trying their hardest, but I feel like the administration in a lot of these medical facilities should have been a little more prepared for not even a crazy epidemic, but it's not at its height yet, right?
Yeah.
but we're almost getting there. You would think at the almost getting there part, we were at least more prepared, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
say again?
So we're not supposedly at the peak of where it's going to get like really shitty and motherfuckers are going to be dying more every day and it's going to get crazier as far as where America's at. But you would think at the curve where we're at maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where we're getting an influx of patients, you would think the administration would have the hospitals better supplied and be at least ready for the first wave, because the first wave, even though it's crazy, it's not as crazy as it's about to get. So that's where I'm saying the administration of some of these medical facilities have really dropped the ball and not preparing for at least like...
I wouldn't call it dropping the ball. I would call it just getting caught. They're playing the odds, you know?
That's true.
It's like not playing, it's like not buying insurance for yourself, you know? It's like,
yeah, but there's no room for that in America.
If I say $400 a month or $500, however much insurance costs, because I got a different kind of insurance, but like however much regular people's insurance costs, right? When they just go out and buy insurance, they don't have a corporate job they get insurance with. When is that like $400 or something like that? It's like mad expensive, right? In America.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, if you don't buy it, then you're saving that money every month. Every month you're saving that money. But then if you get sick, then you got caught. You know what I mean? If you get sick, you got caught, and that's what happened to us. I don't know if people are...
Yeah, but that's you and me, bro. When you're dealing with, I mean, look at those. My goddaughter, she works for like those hospice homes and like the older folks' home, and thank God her facility was prepared for just a fucked up situation. But there's a place in, I think, West Palm Beach that was still letting like sick people in. And I just think that, like at the craziest point, we get it. But right now where it's starting, like there's just certain things that there should have been, like you can't gamble in those type of stuff. I mean, even down to like, I heard that like even the military weren't like I don't know if you heard the story about that. There's a captain that was like dishonorably discharged or whatever because
the Navy captain.
Yeah, because he had to go above his superiors and let this out because they weren't prepared. Those are divisions in society that no matter what have to be prepared. You can't even gamble with those things. Like we clearly see the way America has got an open checkbook when shit hits the fan. Like I mean. But you're right. I think
money's not real.
Yeah, but I really want to give a special shout out. Are you breaking up?
I think you're breaking up. I'm doing fine.
Okay, I just heard you. Maybe I was breaking up. I want to give a special shout out and absolute respect to the frontline workers, like the nurses, the doctors, the EMT people. I mean, even the people that work at the pharmacies and the water, company, the electric company. I mean, talk about having the best job in the world right now. I mean, when you were growing up, you weren't like, oh, damn, I want to go work at the electric company, or like, damn, maybe some people want to be paramedics and firefighters and stuff. But it's like, whoa, like those are the jobs when push comes to shove. Is what we really need. Like, fuck a lawyer, bro. Fuck a house designer or fuck a rapper, Like, fuck all these things we look up to. When push comes to shove, these are the real jobs.
Architects. Shout out to all the architects out there.
Man, shout out to the motherfucker that invented the little filter that goes in front of those N99 masks.
What is that exactly?
I don't know who it was.
What makes that so special?
I mean, homie, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, thanks for existing. Like, shout out to all these doctors that have really, gone out of their way, or just people along the assembly line of like help supplies and stuff. Like, those are the people going forward we need to start looking up to, man.
Well, you know what sucks is that after all of this is over, everything you just said, that kind of sentiment and that kind of thought is just going to go back to the fucking wayside for memes and, you know, Kardashian news and all this other garbage that doesn't mean anything. Instead of exactly what you just said. And that said that we're going to have to eventually just go back to the way it was. You think this is going to change everything or not?
It depends on how long it lasts, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like things changed after World War II because there was no buildings and the shit was at the bottom, you know. Hopefully we curve that shit and yeah, it's done by the summer and then everybody's celebrating again. But
yeah,
I mean, it really depends on how long this shit really takes. I think we're not gonna forget this, bro. I hope we don't, man. I hope at least the smart people in the world don't forget this shit. So that if it ever happens again for like the next generation or even they're saying this shit could be like a seasonal thing. Like this shit could be happening every year.
I was gonna say, this is gonna happen next year. It's just gonna happen again next year.
I mean, there's a lot of positive going on right now. Like if I've been watching these videos on like the pollution in the earth, and because everybody's inside, not outside, being a piece of shit, the earth is actually like healing itself.
Right, exactly.
So
that's amazing. I heard dolphins were swimming in the canals in Venice.
Bro, there's sheep just wandering. There's monkeys in India taking the streets over. Like wildlife is like, yo. This is what we need. Like
the monkeys in India are not a good thing. I've seen videos on that. They literally jump people. Before all of this happened, there were monkeys like jumping people, stealing people's glasses, beating them up, like gangs of monkeys.
My bro.
You know what else?
They
steal dogs. They steal little puppies and train them.
Yo, that's humans' fault, bro.
Puppies.
Bro, that's humans' fault, bro. Animals,
how crazy is that?
Bro. Humans are the only species on this earth that build cities, that sit around and analyze other animals, that create pandemic. Like, other animals just chill, bro. Other animals just chilling. Like, yo, I got this forest. I got this Amazon. I'm good. I coexist with this motherfucker called the Earth. Y'all don't.
No. And why is that?
Because humans, I think it's the analytical side of the human, that part of the brain that takes a step back and say, why? Other animals, they might be like inquisitive and curious, but it's all based on survival. Like with us, motherfuckers were like, oh shit, we need to build a city and a house, grocery stores, like all this fucking Nike shoes. Dolphins don't give a fuck about Nike, bro. They don't give a fuck about Yeezy's album. So it's like, we kind of deserve some of this shit. I don't know, bro. I think there's a lot of positive and negative from this. You there?
I think the dolphin would like Yeezy's album.
My phone over here was going off. Nah, I'm just, I just think that things like this really, not to sound cliche, but this really, puts us in a position where we really realize that we ain't shit. And most of this shit is our fault. You know what I mean? Like, even this, some people say that it came from those, like, fish markets in China or like the wild animal markets, and it came from a bat. I don't know. Some motherfuckers say it comes from G5, this new G5 towers.
You talking about 5G?
Yeah, I don't really, I heard the argument that like the 5G shit's so powerful that it like kills your cells inside, and then your cells are not able to fight off like basic flus and shit like that. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. You know what I mean? Scientist.
Hertzfeld said it came from a lab.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. So I don't know. What do you think?
Me? I think it came from that. So the place where it came from, right? Sold animals,
Right.
butchered animals, and then sold meals of those same animals. So it was like a market for eating food, a market for killing animals, and a market for selling live animals.
Right.
Leave the animals alone, bro. Leave them alone.
But I mean, people been going to live markets. They've been going to
alone.
Hit them notes.
Oh, leave them alone. Oh, leave them alone.
Is that a Michael Jackson remix?
Yeah. I was killing it.
You was a little bit. You were almost there. Momo, say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Do you think so? There's a lot of like falsehood going on right now, and I'm gonna play a video about that. But there's a lot of people that think that like you can't get it again. There are a lot of people thinking that it's just like the flu and people are overreacting. I think we were texting back and forth about how Black and I think even Spanish people can't get it. We all know that's not true now.
Yeah, that you hear that Africans can't get it, or some sort of minorities have less of a chance. Or I also heard that if you have type O blood type, that you can't, or you're less of a chance to get it. You hear all types of shit on the internet, man.
I mean, I can kind of see the Africa thing because like Africa's been going through so many pandemics. They're like, oh, another one? That shit ain't shit. Their immune system's got to be so built up in Africa that they just like they're like C cells or like kung fu. You know what I mean? They just fight off bacteria and virus.
I definitely read something one time about how there was a study with using influenza type viruses, and that certain. Hold on, I got something. Might have fell over here. Give me a second. Nope, we're good. Certain type influenza viruses are less susceptible. You're less susceptible to get it if you're from a certain part of Africa. But again, like you said, I'm not a scientist, obviously, because I sound like an asshole trying to even talk about these kind of things.
Yeah.
It definitely is something that is on the internet, just along with a ton of other stuff. And me as a regular person, I have problems differentiating what's what and where it comes from and what's true and what's not. It's really hard. Like Hirschfeld's talking about, look up Dr. Francis Boyle. So I don't even know what that means, but I can look it up and see what that's about. But it would just be another thing that I look up that I can't corroborate or anything because I'm not there, you know. I'm here and I'm just ingesting stuff off the internet.
It's scary, man. It's scary. I think in the past we really haven't seen anything crazy like this since like the Spanish flu in 2018. But even then we had like media, so some type of the word used to get out. But what about when motherfucking the settlers came here and gave like smallpox to all the Native Americans? Like they didn't even have Twitter or like a gazette to read to be like, oh, white man's bringing over that virus. Nah, we just wiped out 90% of you motherfuckers with a cough.
A lot of people died, man.
90%.
Is that right? That's not right. 90%.
That's what they say. About 90% of the indigenous people in the United States were killed off, not at once, over the spread of time while people were coming here settling. You know what I mean?
Damn, man, these goddamn viruses.
Yeah, man.
So what was I saw a chart that said that most of, including the pandemic in 1918, has to do with, it came from animals. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know because it's hard. It's hard. Like everybody that are, it's not like the like when you come up with conspiracies like the earth is flat. It's like a lot of those dudes that are like so-called, you know, like the what's it called? You know, like the dude with the theorists? Well, not just conspiracy theorists, but the specialist, right, of that specific conspiracy. When it comes down to this, like the whole G5 thing. You know what I mean? There was a doctor or some type of professor that was making the argument for it. And just because I'm not a scientist, it kind of made sense about the whole, like, because before cell phones couldn't penetrate through buildings and it was a little slower. So now they invented this whole G5 thing that's a little more radioactive so it can penetrate buildings and give you faster speed. But this frequency also like kills the cells in your body and it makes them not be able to fight. So it's not really the G5. You're going to die from like, it's kind of like AIDS. Your immune system gets affected by it and you're not able to fight off the basic common flu shit. You know what I mean? And then, we talked about the bat shit and then the other animal shit. So, yeah, man, I don't know.
5G. Not G5. G5 is the plane.
Oh, yeah, 5G. But
5G.
Basically, the frequency that motherfucker is admitting is...
That frequency, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know what to believe, bro. But I do know I'm going to clean the shit out of my hands. I'm going to wear this mask. I'm not going to throw my mask in the street. I seen your post on Facebook. And
man, people throwing used gloves, right? Used pandemic gloves on the ground and inside of shopping carts so that people who work at like Publix and Winn-Dixie have to like take your pandemic gloves out the goddamn shopping cart. I really do try to be a positive person in my life, but I hate you. I hate you.
I say this all the time.
Stop it.
Whenever we have these mass shootings,
throw it away. Throw it away.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean,
throw it away.
These are the type of people that we can sacrifice when we have mass shootings or any crisis epidemics. Like, if we were able to humanly do that.
We say sacrificing people for what?
I'm just saying, like, if we had the choice of, like, whenever the crazy shit happens and a lot of people die, send those people first. I mean, we don't live in that world, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't co-sign that, but I hear what you're trying to say, I guess. I can't co-sign it.
I'm going about it the wrong way, but the outcome is a good thing.
All I would really want to do is put them on blast, like in public. Be like, hey, man, I saw you throw your dirty-ass glove over there. Why don't you take your nasty ass over there and pick up your dirty ass glove and throw it away so nobody else has to deal with your dirty ass glove.
There's this other dude I seen on World Star. Shout out to World Star. They've been entertaining the shit out of me during this quarantine. There's this guy walking around supposedly with the corona. I think it was just a joke video, honestly, though. But still, like, come on, bro. He goes inside the grocery stores and opens up, like, drinks and drinks them and then puts them back. It's like,
what's wrong with people?
What is wrong with people, bro?
What's wrong with people, man?
Bro, Florida man walks into a building in Jacksonville with a spray bottle that says COVID-19 and starts spraying people and gets arrested for having a false weapon of mass destruction or like not fake, but whatever like word that they said,
right.
Like a hoax weapon of mass destruction. It's like, come on.
That's crazy, man. You know what's wrong with people? I don't know if it's specifically Florida, but it definitely happens more in Florida. Hertzfeld said he's seen a lady throw her glove into someone else's truck bed. The hell is that? Like he's saying that somebody else was parked next to a car, next to a truck, and before getting into their car, they took off their glove and threw it into the back of someone else's truck bed. Yo, man, that is so foul. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
It's humanity at its worst, bro.
Because you're a piece of trash. You're just because you're a piece of trash.
Yeah, man.
It's
like people that throw their cigarette out.
Oh my God, I would yell so loud and make such a commotion that people would say I'm embarrassing myself. But luckily, I don't embarrass at all. So I would just call him out, and we'd both be sitting there looking like assholes, but you'd be looking like the bigger asshole for putting somebody else in that position, man. Because then you could honestly be sick, right?
Yeah.
You could honestly be one of the sick people, and now you're throwing your shit into somebody else's truck, and now they're one of the sick people because you're an asshole. It's just people so selfish, man.
Yeah, I mean, I heard people that actually have been asked to be quarantined because they had the symptoms and they were caught back out. There's a story we're gonna play, and it's like, yo, man, like, why are you being so selfish? Like, I mean, I straight up told Ashley, yo, if I catch it, I don't want you and Cosmo in the house. I need to quarantine myself. Of course, she was like, nah, I want to stay with you, but it's like, nah, I need to be by myself because we don't know what this shit is. And if I make it through and give it to you and you don't make it through, I'm not going to be able to live with myself. You know what I mean?
Right. I was listening to something on, I think it was NPR today, when the guy was saying, normally you would go, to a hospital and you would get whatever vaccination or antibiotics or whatever cure there was, they would shoot you up with. But since this is new, we literally got to go back to like the dark ages where they had to quarantine people and just, you didn't know what else to do except just like let it run its course with them by themselves over there for like 40 days. I think that's what quarantine came from, like the cute quarant, whatever, fuck.
Yeah.
Quarantine, for like 40 days. And then when you were not sick anymore, then you can come out, I guess.
It kind of like, we absolutely live in the land of the free, and we don't really have like a lot of socialistic kind of mindset as far as like the way people live under a dictatorship per se, right? But a lot of the countries that have that like totalitarian, mindset where the government is master, they really they were ahead of the curve. You know what I mean?
What about you in Singapore, bro?
Yeah.
What about Singapore?
Like this.
Singapore had tracking drones, and he was threatening to shoot people who didn't go home.
Bro, cops were walking around with temperature readers and put that shit on your forehead. Like, oh no, you're too hot. What you doing in the streets?
Like Divergent and shit, or one of those. What was it? There was a zombie movie. Warm Bodies, where they scan the eye or whatever to see if he was a zombie or not.
It's crazy, bro. I don't know if that could ever happen in America because we're just so gung ho about freedom and granted, I mean that's what makes us one of the best in the world. But during times like this, it makes you think because motherfuckers are not taking heed to the warning, and the way Singapore beat that shit. Yo, maybe martial law is a good thing. You know what I mean? And I hate saying that because growing up as a young kid, I was so anti that type of shit because I felt like that was Big Brother kind of taking over. But when times like this happen, I mean, maybe we do need that type of preventive measure to kind of beat this shit. You know what I mean?
I don't know, bro. I don't know about that, bro.
It's proven to work, though. It's working in your country.
But this is one of the main reasons why, and it's a dumb reason why I disagree. I'll preface it by saying it's a stupid ass reason to disagree. But the reason I disagree with that is because every documentary, every article, every movie I've ever read always started with how before we get overthrown or taken over or martial law gets enacted or whatever, we're going to ask for it. We're going to beg for it. We as a people are going to really, really want it. And when I hear people say, man, maybe we should do that. Maybe we should give up our civil liberties for a while we figure this shit out. I'm just like, damn, that sounds a lot like the beginning of that movie I saw that one time. And I'm just like, nah, let's fight it as long as possible, I guess. But maybe that ends up being our demise by not making everybody go in. I know Italy, you got to have like a pass, a permit to be walking around outside for certain things. So
yeah, you got to email like, yo, I want to go to the grocery store, and then they send you like a time you can go.
All I know is I don't want to see people going to jail or getting fucking beat up or no shit. I saw some video online of some lady who was like, it starts out with her like sort of just walking away from a cop, and the person in the video said something about they are getting arrested because they weren't supposed to be outside, and because of Rona is what the lady said in the video. But I don't know how true the video is. What I'm saying is I don't want to see that shit happening.
Yeah.
And I know we got enough issues in this world and country about kind of people overstepping their authority with what the power that they do have. So now we're going to talk about like martial law and like really giving them unlimited authority, and those same people having unlimited authority in those same situations. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You know, there is a lot of positive though coming out of this. You know, for example, they freed 6ix9ine.
How's that positive?
They let him out. They let him out like early because he had asthma.
Yeah, but how's that positive?
Because the internet's about to get lit again.
Oh, okay. It's been boring since he's been gone, huh?
Bro, Corona, I think another side of this shit is Corona needed 6ix9ine back on Instagram, so that's why it started spreading. It was like, nah, we can't take this. We need. I mean, it's crazy when the government.
Stuff, that's his ignorant shit. That's the most ignorant shit I've heard like in a week.
No, but I'm gonna segue to how crazy is it that the government is really contemplating letting out people from jail because of this shit?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
that all over the world too. All over the world are letting criminals like non-violent, obviously, criminals out.
Bro, in Brazil, a whole jail just escaped. They were like, "Fuck it, we out." Every inmate was like, "Fuck it, we out."
Thieves. So thieves are getting out because they're non-violent. You can't just let a thief out. You know what they should do? They should let everybody that is in jail right now for weed, let them out.
Yeah.
All over the world. If you're in jail for weed, all over the world, let them out.
I think they should let, if you're in for drugs, like if you didn't commit like a violent offense and you're just in for drugs, and you're just in for drugs, let those motherfuckers go. You know what I was telling Ashley the other day? We're having issues with the homeless people not wanting to go because I guess they're setting up like these tent camps for the homeless so that they can at least be in one area. But a lot of the homeless, they don't want to go there because they want to go get their fix every day. So I was like, yo, the sheriff should go into the evidence locker, get all the drugs out of there, and give it to the homeless. That way they just stay in one area just for like a couple months.
Right. But I don't know if everybody doing drugs is the answer to everything.
Not everybody, just the homeless.
Why just the homeless?
Because if you can't quarantine them in a specific place because they need to go get their fix, if you give them free drugs, first off, you're going to cut the whole supply chain and all the drug dealers are instantly going to stop selling drugs because they can't supply motherfuckers that are getting it for free. See where I'm going with this, bro? Free drugs equals you cutting off the supply chain, therefore there's no more drug dealers. I've been thinking about this shit.
I don't know about giving people drugs, bro. Just like outright just giving people drugs during a time where they just maybe need to stop doing drugs.
Nah, bro, you can't get off the heroin just like that. You can't just be like, I want to quit tomorrow. That's one
of the things you should stop doing during quarantine if you're homeless is drugs.
I mean, nobody's telling them to drop off like a key of H or Coke. But yo, here's a couple grams. You know, sprinkle it on that shit like remember how Dave Chappelle used to sprinkle crack and shit? Just sprinkle shit. Man. Yeah.
Nah, man.
Nah.
Man. Nah.
We're living in times, bro. You gotta be open-minded to things to help.
I am. I'm definitely open-minded to things to help. And I think one of the things that would help is if you're homeless, you should stop doing drugs right now during this time. I think that would help.
I don't know. I still think they're gonna, like you say, they're gonna do it anyway. And homeless people, but crack has existed since like the 70s, late 70s. Motherfuckers still smoking crack. Nothing's changed.
No, because it's so cheap.
Right.
It's a cheap drug.
Right.
It's a cheap drug. You just sprinkle some COVID on it, like Hertzfeld said.
Well, that would really be fucked up if you like take crack with COVID.
So what about, are we still sharing joints nowadays?
Hell no. I'm not. I mean, I just been smoking to the head at the house, but nah, I'm not. I literally wore gloves and a mask to the grocery store the other day. Felt like an idiot, but I was like, fuck it. Like, I got to protect myself. Because again, like when we first started, like, am I overreacting? But it's like, nah. I mean, I wipe my dog's paws down when he comes in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
from outside your house?
We go for a walk around the park. Cosmo comes inside. I get a little bit of rubbing alcohol, sprinkle the paws. He don't really like it. He gets all like, you know what I mean? But it's, you got to take those extra preventive measures. Ashley looks at me like I'm fucking crazy. You know what I mean? But, yo, as soon as she gets home, straight to the shower. I got a towel for her. Like I said, I take her shoes. I sprinkle that alcohol on them. You know, I don't even get a kiss when she comes. I say, hell no, you work in the medical field. Take your ass to the shower. Got to.
We don't take it that far here. We just don't really leave the house. You know, when I go to Publix, I pick up the groceries. I come in, I wash my hands.
You bring the bag inside?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't do that. I've gone so far as I take a little like cloth with a little bit of bleach and I wipe all the groceries before they come into the house, and I don't let the bag in the house. I leave the bag outside, I crumble it up, and then I throw it away, and then I come back inside and wash my hands or put alcohol on my hands.
Well, no, I mean, I guess I don't. Hertzfeld agrees. We got somebody that agrees, but I just don't know. Yeah, I don't got nothing to say except I don't do.
Shout out to Hertzfeld in the chat. I can't see nobody in the chat, but shout out to everybody in the chat.
We got a couple people here. Yeah, I don't know. I need to do a survey with all my friends and see how serious they're taking that part of it. I definitely aren't. I'm not going places, you know. I don't try to go to the beach or the movies or restaurants, or I don't do any of that. But when I do go to the grocery store, I just sort of go. Yeah. I stay 6 feet away. When I get home, I clean my hands, and that's about it. Put the groceries away. We always wash everything anyway.
Right.
Not everything. Like produce-wise, I wash everything anyway. You know, like I clean the lettuce. I clean sorry. When we eat them, we clean them.
Right.
You know? But generally, I don't alcohol everything down.
Yeah, I could be overreacting, but I don't know. I guess that's just
like we were saying earlier. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, you know, I'm a hypochondriac though when it comes to certain things. Like, I got a little sniffle the other day. I was like, oh shit, did I catch it? Like, have you been like double guessing yourself?
A little bit. You know, you get up in the morning. When I get up in the morning, generally, I'm kind of like, whatever. I'm kind of like, you know, not grouchy, but you know, my gruffy, whatever. So then I kind of like think about it, but most times I'm good. It's not really like.
Were you a C-section, baby?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah.
I heard that the easier you came out the vagina, the easier you wake up and go to sleep. The harder of a struggle it was for you, that like makes you wake up grumpy. So maybe, I don't know. That's kind of a hard question to ask your mom, though.
Why is that a hard question?
Hey, Mom, was it hard for me to get out, or was it like easy? I guess. I don't know.
It's not a hard question.
I don't really like
easy birth.
Yeah,
was it an easy birth or was it a difficult birth? Boom.
You say it better than me.
I mean, it's not a hard question.
I mean, I guess it's because you had a kid. Did you actually watch Kai come out?
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there.
I've never witnessed that, so I guess I still act like a little kid when it comes to that shit.
I helped.
Did you bite the umbilical cord?
I didn't bite it, but I cut it.
Some motherfuckers bite that shit.
Yeah, some people save it and they eat it. It's supposed to give you special powers.
Umbilical bacon.
My mom's on the chat. My mom's been on the live the whole time.
Umbilical bacon.
Yo.
Hey, Mama Thompson.
Mom's been on the live the whole time.
Hey, Mama Thompson.
She said 6 days of labor.
Oh, my God. That's why you wake up grumpy, bro.
Grumpy, whatever.
That's what Bobo said.
Yeah, Hertzfeld's, show enough red. That's my mom. Say hello. Hey, Mom, that's Hertzfeld's. He's a nice guy.
Hey, Mama Thompson again. You want to get into these clips?
Yeah, go for it, man.
I'm going to throw our intro real quick.
All right. Yeah.
All right, this first one is a special shout out to all the medical professionals working their ass off right now in the trenches. Nothing but love to you people. Thank you for being who you are. This is a story about a nurse that basically is working his ass off, but decided not to come home. I think he's staying at a hotel or somewhere else because he's afraid of bringing anything that he was possibly contaminated with at work home. So, these people are having it hard, man.
Hey, I got a neighbor whose boyfriend works at a diabetes clinic here in Orlando, and he's still being made to work with the people, and he's not allowed to wear a mask because it scares people.
And who told him he's not allowed? Is that the administration, obviously, right?
Yeah, his bosses.
That's what I'm saying, Thompson. It's like the administration of these facilities are really the ones to blame for this. Like, you can't blame the doctors and the nurses, but like the motherfuckers that make the procedures and like, you know, the rules of the day. It's like, what are you guys thinking? Like,
right.
That pisses me off, man. I'm going to play this first one.
Last night at 11, we showed you the challenges a local nurse is facing on the front lines of the pandemic. He's living away from his family to protect them from being exposed.
Yeah, tonight, News 6's Lauren Cervantes spoke with his wife and kids to show the sacrifices they are making.
I miss Daddy because I want to snuggle with him.
4-year-old Rosie misses her dad, who is on the front lines fighting this virus.
I miss just talking to him, and usually at night after the kids go to bed, we'll just snuggle on the couch.
Kyle McBride is a registered nurse at a hospital in Osceola County. He and his wife Heather have 4 children, and these past 2 weeks they've been living apart out of fear of bringing
I can see you and Shauna and the kids doing a picture like this.
COVID-19 from his work to their home.
Coming home to your own family, you don't know if what you're bringing in the door is affecting your family.
Scary.
While they may be physically apart, Heather says they are never far from each other's thoughts. She recalls one day when their wedding song played on the radio.
So the other day, he texted me that the song was on, so we turned on the radio, and one of my sons, Nehemiah, he started dancing with me, in Kyle's place, and we took a picture so we could send to him.
Heather says it's been an adjustment, but says the kids are helping with chores around the house, waiting for their dad to stop by after work and leave groceries outside on the front step.
Because he brings those surprises, and they're always wondering what he's going to bring them. Like he brought some Easter peeps.
The deliveries have become their only time together, with the safety of glass in between them.
It gives you a better appreciation for single moms and dads, and it encourages me that if something were to ever happen to him, that I'd be able to do it.
Heather says she and her children are constantly reminding their dad of how incredible his sacrifice is and how much he is missed.
We're all proud of you, that you're our hero, and just continue to do what you always do in helping everybody. We love you, Daddy.
Oh man,
Man, bro, like, that shit tears my heart apart, the way that people are just unconditional with it. Like, that guy's really putting his life on the line. I mean, I think that's just as noble as a soldier going to war, if not more noble. You know what I mean? To really be at the head of that, and then to quarantine yourself to protect your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, viral load. Viral load, I think, as far as I understand it, is the amount of time you're spending around infected people getting exposed to the virus. The more the virus builds up in your system. I don't know if I have it all the way true or all the way right. As far as I understand, that's some of the most dangerous. It's literally on the front lines.
Yeah.
Constantly playing with, your life.
Yeah.
According to, if we're.
And, I mean, little things like when I wear this mask out in public, like it would slip a little bit, and you're like your nose. And I know they have like better protective stuff than what I have, but it's like little things like that you don't notice because you're in the process of working, and you could get contaminated so easily that it's man, bro. Like what a psychosis that you're going through in your mind. And you're just there to help people. I think what you were saying, I've been hearing a lot of stories on because a lot of the medical supplies are being depleted. They're having to reuse masks and reuse gloves. And it's like, that's got to be the hardest thing to be going through right now, is that like, you got to deal with this shit. Plus there's all these other ancillary things that are going around associated with you not being able to do your job fully. You know what I mean? Because, the lack of supplies and, man, bro. And I think that's what we're really going to get into in these clips is the heroes and the assholes. You know what I mean? Like the people that can really be helping and try to, get us to the promised land and try to eradicate this or as they say, put the curve on it. And then you got people like we were talking earlier, leaving their damn gloves in the street, just taking advantage of the situation or not fully being part of the solution. And it's like, why? Like, seriously?
Literally being part of the problem. Like, literally being part of the problem.
Ridiculous, bro. So this next one is about patients that have been diagnosed with COVID-19 but are still out and about. So this definitely goes into the asshole side to the story. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see any of these people in the street, please give them a piece of your mind. I don't think you should go out and kick anybody's ass because you maybe get contaminated or sick. But damn it, if you know of somebody that's got shit,
because you might get sick.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like just from afar, even if you gotta get like a bullhorn or something, or like archery, I don't know, something. But figure out a way.
No, don't shoot people. Don't shoot anybody.
Not even if you got COVID-19 and you out spreading it when you're supposed to be quarantined.
Don't shoot anybody.
All right.
County leaders say people who have tested positive for COVID-19 are leaving their homes, some even going inside stores.
Seriously, officials are now cracking down on the executive order. News 6's Troy Campbell is live in Seminole County for us tonight. The details of this, Troy.
Yeah, as you can see, not too much traffic here along 436 in Seminole County because of the statewide stay-at-home order. But officials here in Seminole County, they're taking action. They want to make sure anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19 does not head out here on these streets when they're supposed to be at home.
This is extremely scary, and this is extremely serious. And we will not tolerate it in Seminole County.
Seminole County's Office of Emergency Management Chief Administrator
If
Adam
you're
Harris.
sick,
Yeah.
if you're sick, why would you leave?
People are stubborn. I mean, what if you're sick and you're by yourself and you haven't got no groceries or anything at the house?
You're allowed to leave for your groceries, though, right?
But what if you're sick, though? What if you're like an older person that caught the 19, you ain't got no help? What do? You know what I mean?
You use the Publix app.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's also like an older thing, too. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, at this day and age, there's really no excuse.
There isn't. You're absolutely right.
You can claim being a senior for sure, but like maybe once. And then after the first time somebody says, yeah, but bro, your phone, then, you know, or use Instacart like my mom would use or say.
Yeah.
168.
And you don't know when the next paycheck is coming through. Like, having the sickness is probably absolutely the worst part of a scenario you can be in right now. But losing your job is a whole other stress factor. And like I was telling Ashley, like I keep talking to my mom and my little brother and my dad about, because we have our own business, and Ashley works in the medical field, so she hasn't lost her job. We're very blessed, man. And I'm like very humbled that that we're okay in the sense, you know what I mean? Because there's so many people, like some of my tenants, thank God it's only been one tenant, but obviously some of you guys know I'm in, real estate and stuff. So a lot of my money comes from rental properties. And I've been lucky that only one of our tenants have lost their job. Now, lucky on my side because the rest of the tenants are obviously paying rent. Unlucky to my tenant because she lost her job. And, of course, we've been nothing but nice. We're going to be able to still make our mortgage payment because we did what we had to do to kind of save money and have reserves. But for somebody like that to, like, not have money, not know when you're going to be able to pay rent. I mean, thank God the government came through and said, hey, we're not going to be evicting anybody as far as the sheriff coming out and getting rid of people. And we're not going to be foreclosing on any house. I think that's the first time